Hello and welcome back to the TrekCraft server. Yes, I'm over here working on this TOS era Fearless. We haven't given it a class name yet, but I think Pan has a pretty cool name for it. We'll probably go with. But anyways, yeah, I've been working on it. I worked on it a lot last night, cleaning up a lot of the issues with importing the hull and this stuff over here, the nacelle and the pylon and things like that. And I cut the ship in half. I've been using Axiom trying to figure it out. The deletion part is pretty basic, which is kind of neat. And I just go to this right here. I pick a start point and I go pick an end point and hit the delete key. It works. But yeah. So that's what I did. I got rid of half the ship. Took less than a second to go bye-bye, which is a lot better than when I did the world edit cut, which, would probably still be processing right now, and that was like a month ago. But anyways, I went through and I added in the deck lines. We did shorten the neck pylon here by a couple of blocks to give it more, of a stout look or a lower profile. And then I did extend it out by a couple of blocks as well to give it more of a base because the primary hull has the pod and now it has the nacelles and the pylons. So it has to be a little bit more, stout. Now, it has a central torpedo launcher here. I might add one down here. I don't know yet. And the impulse bay is lower than the deck plan, so it'll be a step down into the impulse bay. It can't be avoided. This is where it's going to be. I'm going to use this little 3-deck space here from where we shortened the neck as like a Jeffries 2 power junction conduit thing, and then torpedo storage on the side. So that'll be what I'll do there. And then anything other than that will probably be just like, armor or fuel storage, water storage, whatever. Now, I'm going to have 2 separate warp engines, one for each set of nacelles. So I'll have one on this side, and I'll have one on this side. And down through the center here, I don't know what we'll do. Obviously, it's going to take out this one here, and this is the full size of it right here. So I'll have all this space plus again on this side to work with for additional components and whatnot. Now, Calvin did all of this red ribbing, and this is bulkheads and I guess superstructure support. This was started, I think, with Birchie Birch, and then I think Creeperbot did his entire ship with this design, and then Calvin is doing it with his. It's an excellent idea. It adds a lot of detail to the vessel. And if you know anything about TOS, you know that these right here actually are those when you're walking through the corridors and you see the red beam going across the ceiling. That's what these are. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'll keep Calvin's floor plan, but for the most part, I think the first couple of decks work really well. So I change perfection. Now, when we get down to the drive hull, that's going to be a bit different because since the engine room is not going to be down here, we can expand the hangar bay. That means, unfortunately, I have to, you know, remove a vast amount of the work that Calvin's already done for his constitution and go back there and repurpose this area. We're thinking of extending. I'm probably going to extend the hangar bay all the way to here, and then this will all be hangar parking and then cargo storage. All the way up to the deflector dish. Now, the deflector dish, that's going to be interesting because it needs power from the warp core. And I believe this is the matter antimatter exchanger, so this thing can be actually jettisoned from the ship if I'm not mistaken. So what I'm thinking, and again, I'm just spitballing this stuff right now as I'm doing this. Since the engine rooms are too far back here, I think I'll come up to this deck right here, this 3-deck high, and then I'll have it come along here and then go out and then angle up into the impulse bay, probably back here at this point back here, or maybe actually do it up here. I don't know. Yeah, I've just got to figure it out as I go. But yeah, it'll definitely be connected in some way, some fashion. Or I could actually move it instead of having it right here. I can move it back and align with the middle of the 2 warp core engine lines. But I don't know. I'll figure it out when I get there. But yeah, most of this will probably have to come out, and I'll keep the deflector dish, and I'll route the power from the deflector dish. Some method for so it's coming directly from the warp cores and then powering the deflector dish. But yeah, Calvin's done a lot of work back here. He's done even more work on his hood over there, his USS hood. But it is what it is. you should go check it out. It's actually quite good stuff. Now, all this stuff down through here, I don't see any reason not to keep this. It just when I get to this point right here, this will all have to be moved and repurposed because of not needing that down here anymore. But yeah, yeah, I'm looking pretty excited with it. It's a bigger ship than I thought, but it's not as big as it could be. And that's saying a lot because it is what it is. Now, these windows, I think I mentioned it, but these windows are because of the redesign of the deck through the next section here. Yeah, the neck being shortened and stuff, the windows are no longer in position, so I have to move all the windows. That's no big deal. I can do that. I can just drop these windows down, move them back, and respace them out so that they look good and everything else. But yeah, she's coming along. I did have to go into the nacelle here and clean up a bunch of stuff that was in the nacelle. There was a bunch of debris in this nacelles from when we imported it. I got all that out of there, and I filled in all the holes and whatnot from the importing of the model. And we'll just continue to go from here. I have some really good detailed images of what these are supposed to look like from Star Trek Online, so hopefully I'll be able to mimic those, or I'll steal them from Kino when he does them. I don't know. But yeah, I'd also considered to put a hangar back up in here as well. But if I'm expanding the hangar bay down in the drive hall, I don't really need it up here. I would like to do something up here, probably put some greebling, maybe some other little things and bits and bobs up in here. I don't know. It all depends on how it lays out on the interior, and then I can work on the exterior a little bit. I still have to figure out how we're going to do all of this stuff, this sensor deflector grid stuff. I think I'll just have it when it comes into here, just have it go straight over and then connect on the starboard side, on the port side. So it'll just be like a straight line instead of continuing the circular pattern. Now I can do the circular pattern. It's not that hard. I would just, copy it from the front and then just lift it to the back and just continue on with it. But it would look really kind of odd. I'm thinking straight lines might look better. I don't know. We'll have to do it and see what it looks like. It is what it is when it comes to this kind of thing. But yeah, yeah. Anywho, I do appreciate taking the time to watch. And again, this is the TrekCraft server. Join the Discord, help us out. Come on to Patreon, become a Patreon member, and enjoy the tour server, the build server, and the museum server once they're all up and running. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.